Oh, hi, welcome back. Today we're going to look at Xbox One games. So we have the very first one here. We have Dead Rising 3. Dead Rising 4, by the way, is coming out in December, and I think they're also doing a remaster of all of the Dead Rising games on the 360. So I'll probably pick those up at some point, even though, as we will see later on, I actually have those. But anyway, yeah. So Dead Rising 3. I'm a huge zombie fan. I can go on and on. You guys know that. And this game is like everything that would be great. Nothing. Okay, put it this way: nothing would be great about a zombie apocalypse. But if there's one thing you can take out of the zombie apocalypse and kind of turn it on its head to make it great, would be to kill all of these zombies and have fun doing so. And that's what this game. It provides that fantasy to perfection. What I really like about these games, and it seems like once was I think it's Capcom Vancouver, I think, who took over this franchise since Dead Rising 2, I believe, was they added a lot of this customization to the weapons and whatnot, and I really like that. I like how in this one they actually took it to a whole new level with the vehicles, how you can customize vehicles and whatnot by grabbing parts from different things and combining them together into an awesome killing or death dealing machine. I thought that was cool. I like how there's a co-op aspect in this one as well. Block85 also got this game just recently, so maybe someday we'll join in together and play some co-op. But overall, really enjoyed this game, and I highly recommend it if you just want to get into some zombie carnage. Forza Horizon 2. So a little bit of a backstory in this one. I didn't have any racing games for the Xbox One. On 360, I've had things like Forza and whatnot, but with the Xbox One, I didn't really have a racing game. And they announced that Forza Horizon was going to do a tie-in game with. It was a partnership with the Fast and Furious or Furious 7 film, and so they basically took all the cars from that film and put them into their own game that they were going to give away for free, and they did. So I said, what do I have to lose? I'll download the game. It actually came with some sweet achievement points, and so that was cool. But anyways, what ended up happening is I ended up liking the game so much, that little very small vertical slice of that game. I liked it so much that I ended up going the next day to buy this game, and I do not regret it. I still play this to this day. I actually own a steering wheel now because of this game, and I have it right here, which you cannot see. But yeah, I just love this game. What more can you really say? And by the way, I do have the both Forza games, Forza 5 and Forza 6 on Xbox One, but digitally. All right, so next up we have Gears of War Ultimate Edition. This was basically a remake, almost. I guess it's kind of a remake remaster. It's like a mix between remake and remaster. Uh, they didn't really add anything new as far as the story is concerned. They simply just made really awesome looking graphics and kind of brought that back to modern day graphics, I suppose. Originally, this game came out with uh, access to all four of the original games. So that was the original Gears of War 2, 3, and then Judgment, that were all backwards compatible on the Xbox One. And but however, this one is not that edition. This is strictly a just like a regular edition. But it doesn't matter. I own those games on the 360, so it's not really a big deal. But anyways, this game, if you like the original Gears of War and you want to kind of take a new trek through that world, definitely pick this thing up. You can actually find it fairly cheaply now. I got this game for 18 bucks Canadian, so I couldn't really complain about that one. So next up, we have the Halo Master Chief Collection, and let me just say right off the bat that my God, was this thing broken on release. So many problems. I think the one thing I was working all right was the solo campaign, but everything else, especially when it comes to the matchmaking and the lag in the servers and whatnot, it was completely broken. With that being said, they did eventually fix it, and it is a superb game. If you are a Halo fan, if you want to see what Halo is all about, definitely pick up this game because such a great package. You have Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4, plus as a kind of like a sorry we effed up sort of thing. They gave us also Halo 3 ODST as a digital download, which was pretty cool. So yeah, so 4 games for the price of 1.5 if you happen to get ODST for free, and yeah, it's really a great collection of games. Is Halo 5 Guardians. Now, a funny thing with this game, and I did put this game in the top 10 for my game of the year last year, was I was looking forward to the campaign in this one. Having played Halo 4 on the Master Chief Collection, I was like, hey, these new guys, these 343 guys, they can really make a good campaign. And the online, on the other hand, I'm like, they kind of, with now granted, they weren't the ones that did that collection, but it kind of soured me on the whole online aspect of this game. But the campaign was phenomenal in Halo 4. I really liked it, and I liked where it was going with the story. So when Halo 5 came out and it was announced and whatnot, I'm like, I was looking forward to continuing that campaign. And if the online ended up sucking again, well, whoop de doo. Well, the funny thing about that is I actually ended up reversing my thought on that. I ended up really liking the multiplayer, and I don't really like the campaign all that much at all. And I think the biggest problem with this game, it has a lot of the same problems that Halo 2 had, which is where they try to kind of go back and forth between the Chief and Locke, and going back and forth from different points of views. And I didn't personally like that aspect of it. I kind of would have just rather either keep it as Locke or have it as Master Chief, but obviously they didn't. My personal opinion is I probably would have kept it as Master Chief for this game, and then release it release Locke as a season pass DLC sort of thing, and maybe that would have been a little different. Of course, by doing that, I would expect them to then make Master Chief's story a little more meaty, obviously. But yeah, but anyways, regardless, it's still a worthy pickup if you are a Halo fan. Maybe you will get more enjoyment out of the single players more than what I did. But as far as like online, if you're looking for your online Halo fix, you can't go any wrong with this game. It's a great game. Not such a great game, but not because of the concept or the gameplay necessarily, but rather the fact that it was really broken. In my honest opinion, it was Just Cause 3. This is the Day 1 edition. What can I say about this game? Like, I really enjoy the Just Cause games. I even like the first game, although it was pretty janky. But for what it was, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Just Cause 2. That was a massive leap above the first one. And Just Cause 3 looked great, and it played great on PC, not on the consoles at all. But the thing was, I owned the first 2 games on the 360, so I'm like, as I tend to do, as you will probably see in a lot of my collection, is that when a game comes out on or when I own a game on a specific platform, I tend to keep all the games within that ecosystem. So, for instance, if I get Just Cause 1 on the Xbox, I'll get Just Cause 2 and 3 and 4 or whatever on the Xbox. Same with, like, for instance, Metal Gear or Resident Evil. I will tend to stick with the PlayStation for those ones. So I did that for this one, and I knew the performance would not be as pristine as the PC version, but I didn't think it was going to be going at about 13 frames per second either. And Yeah, it was really, really bad. Now, to be fair, I heard there was a patch. I don't know. I haven't played it since then. I did actually, even though it was going at 18 frames per second, I did actually complete the game. I pushed through with the game because even with those 18 frames per second, it was still fun. But it was a massive disappointment for me because of the frame rate and the overall performance issue with this game. Considering that when it chugs is when the awesome shit is happening, and when it starts to hinder the gameplay at that particular point, it makes you not want to do that awesome shit, and it's too bad. But who knows? Maybe the performance is a lot better after that patch. I'll probably have to give that another go just to see for myself. A game I was very skeptical when I heard about it. It was a reboot, I guess, or a remake, and it was a particular classic on the. I think it originally came out on the Super Nintendo and eventually on the N64. Of course, it's done by a Rare Studios, and when I heard that they were going to get a different developer to make this game, I was a bit leery on that one. However, it turned out to be fantastic, and it was eventually taken over by Iron Galaxy. We have Killer Instinct on the Xbox One. Uh, what a great fighting game this is. And what I like about this one is that every year they come out with basically a season. They call it a season, and they announce new fighters, and they continue to add and balance and whatnot those fighters into it. And this one, by the way, I think it's called the Combo Breaker Pack, and I want to say it has all of season one and two or three characters from season two. It has bonus fighter from season two TJ combo. So yeah, really cool. But yeah, I like how this game has almost not only is it a great Killer Instinct game, but it's almost become their kind of Microsoft's kind of Smash Brothers in a lot of ways. Because they're now adding they added the Arbiter, uh, one of the Battle Toads in it. Uh, who else? Oh, Ram or Rom, whatever from Gears of War, the bad guy. So like they're adding a lot of these characters now from their franchises, which I think is pretty neat. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else they're going to do with this game. And but yeah, I mean Iron Galaxy, who took this series over, is doing a phenomenal job. The name of the original people who did this reboot, the name escapes me at the moment. I want to say it was Sumo Digital, but again, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, really great reboot, great series. The only game on the Xbox One that I actually have not quote unquote unboxed or unwrapped yet, because I just got it, was the Minecraft Xbox One edition. Includes a favorites pack. So it has like a bunch of DLC included with it. And the thing is, like, Minecraft can be played by so many different people. You can have kids play it, teenagers, adults, whatever. I own this game on the PC, obviously. I had it on the PS3. I got it on the PS4. I think it was only $5 for the upgrade, which was pretty cool. And I thought it was about time I got it for the Xbox One, as it is, after all, owned by Microsoft, and I figured they would have a few extra little bells and whistles at some point for this game. And the fact that I got all the DLC with it, which I didn't have for the PlayStation 4 version and PlayStation 3 versions, I thought it was a good time to jump on. And plus, I got it for, I think it was $16, $18, so like it wasn't too crazy a price right there. And we all enjoy playing a bit of Minecraft here and there, so I thought I'd pick that up. Another game I haven't actually played yet. This is Murdered Soul Suspects. I basically bought this. It was during the Target closing sale. Now, if you're not familiar, basically here in Canada, we did have a Target at one point, but decided to hang it up and leave the sinking ships, so to speak. And so yeah, they hightailed it out of here. But the good news with all that was that I was able to get some cheap games, and this was one of them. I got this game. I think it was for $10, and I heard it was a neat concept. Now, I didn't review favorably by a lot of people, but I like the concept of it. I like how now if you're not familiar with this game, basically the character on this game here, you are a detective, but you were killed, and in this game, what you're doing is you're actually investigating your own death. You're trying to solve your own death, which I thought it was a neat concept. Now, how it actually plays and whatnot, I don't really know. I'm expecting it to be more like a like a exploring game, like a maybe a Heavy Rain or something like that, and not so much an action game. I can understand if you look at the cover, you might think this is like a almost like a Resident Evil or Silent Hill type of game, which is not apparently. Uh, but for the $10 that I paid for it, I mean you can't really complain. And worst case scenario, I'm out $10. So next up we have, and by the way, before I show this game, basically what I've been starting to do now since I got the wheel, the racing wheel for the Xbox One, I decided to make the Xbox One the go-to system for racing games. So everything with the exception of the first party, such as Gran Turismo and what's the other game? Drive Club. I decided to buy all these racing games on the Xbox One. So I ended up buying Need for Speed on the Xbox One. Now the problem with that, as my voice kind of goes out all doing all these videos, is at least the last time I tried it, it doesn't work with the steering wheel. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know if they didn't actually have any intentions of doing that, which is kind of disappointing. But regardless, the game is solid. I have no problems with it. I played it quite a bit. Uh, I like the overall cheesy cutscenes. They have like these live action cutscenes in this game, and a lot of bro fists, and a lot of Monster Energy drinks and whatnot. I thought that was very very cheesy, but it kind of like harkened back to the original Need for Speed games, all the way back on like the PC and whatnot. And I thought it was neat, uh, but not a great game either. Like it's a solid racer. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is both a great game or a bad game. It's kind of like in between. But if you need like a quick little racing game and you don't already have Forza and whatnot, maybe consider picking this up. So you guys already seen me play this on the channel. This is Quantum Break. This is one of the reasons why I wanted an Xbox, and which was kind of disappointing considering they announced that it would also be on PC. Probably I wouldn't have bought a Xbox One had I known this was going to be on the PC, but that's a different topic for another day. But regardless, the game is phenomenal. I really enjoyed the game, as you can tell probably by my Let's Play. And I love the whole time travel story aspect of it. I'm a big time travel fan. I love things like the Time Machine and Back to the Future and whatnot. So to have that in a game, or that type of thing in a game, I thought was really cool. And just overall, I really liked the story in this one. The story that and the mechanics that they gave you to play around with the time aspect was really really cool. And now, granted, it's not Remedy's finest work. I would still probably put Max Payne 1 and 2 up there, with Alan Wake following not too far behind. But even still, it's a solid Remedy game. And if you are a fan of Remedy or a fan of like the time travel aspect, definitely pick this up. Now, I mentioned earlier when talking about the Halo collection that it was probably one of the best collections of video games, and that, I stand by that. I think it's one of the best. But this game is also right up there as one of the best. This is Rare Replay, and my god, is there a lot of games on this. There's a total of 30 games on this one. Now, not all of Rare's games are on this one. There's a few notable exceptions, such as, obvious ones like Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong 64 and whatnot. Obviously, those are owned by Nintendo. They're not going to be on this collection. GoldenEye, or GoldenEye 64 as we used to call it, it's not on this one. But overall, other than those games, for obvious reasons, licensing and whatnot, the majority of their bigger games are on this one, and it was neat to kind of go back to like looking some of that. So look, take a look back at some of their older games and kind of see how they went, how they came from the early beginnings up until some of the later stuff like Viva Pinata and Perfect Dark Zero and whatnot. I thought it was neat. Now, the one thing it kind of annoyed me with this release, again, you guys know me, I'm really into the physical copies and whatnot. The majority of the games are on the disc, and we can see real quick here. It is a single disc, as is the case with most Xbox games. But the problem with this release, and I know why, was the games that are considered 360 games. So, for instance, the Banjo Kazooie 1 and 2, they are the XBLA versions of Banjo 1 and 2. Perfect Dark, the original, is also the XBLA version, which is great. Perfect Dark Zero, and basically all the other 360 games that are on this collection run through the backwards compatible feature on Xbox One. The problem with that is that you then have to download the games. So yes, you still get the games. You still get the games, but you have to download it. And as someone who likes to have the games on the disc, it's kind of annoying. But it's a minor quibble. Mainly because first of all, this thing was only like $30 or whatever, and you get 30 games. So even if years down the road the Xbox One is no longer a thing, it can no longer connect to Xbox Live, or maybe Microsoft even got rid of Xbox Live or whatever, you still get quite a few quality games on this release that are worth playing. And a lot of those other 360 games, you can still get them on the 360, so it's not like it's not a huge deal. This one here is actually a Xbox One exclusive, and I'm surprised that it stayed that way. We are talking about Sunset Overdrive, and this is a very, very, first of all, it's a very, very, as you can tell by the cover here, very colorful cover, and it's a very colorful game. It's made by Insomniac Games, who obviously make the Ratchet and Clank, Resistance, and whatnot games. And it has that Ratchet feel to it a little bit, with the creative weapons, the rail grinding and stuff like that. Obviously, this is more mature as the mature rating right there. It's meant more for a mature audience, not for kids, obviously. And but overall, I mean, it's really cool. Again, basically in this game, like there's these zombies or whatever. They drank this like new drink or whatever has turned them into these ravenous zombies or whatever. Really stupid concept, but like it was really, really fun to play. And I think first of all, I think they actually released this as a Games for Gold, so a lot of you guys probably already own this now. But even still, like, you can probably pick this up fairly cheaply, and I do recommend this game. It's one of the main reasons to own an Xbox One. We have Titanfall. This one here, my sister got me, I believe, for Christmas, and I really enjoyed this one. The main issue I think a lot of people had with this one wasn't the gameplay necessarily, which was great. Obviously, this is made by Respawn, who are some of the former developers of the Infinity Ward from Call of Duty, Call of Duty 4 and whatnot. And the gameplay is great and stuff, but it's the lack of content early on that kind of gave people a wrong, made people think wrongly of the game, I guess you can say. That kind of turned them off, so to speak. And but overall, I mean, I really enjoyed the game. They end up releasing all the DLC for free at some point, and so I really enjoyed it. I'm really looking forward to the sequel, which I will get on Xbox One, because like I said earlier, I tend to get all the when I get one game, I tend to get them all on the same console. And then finally, we got this game. I don't even know why I really bought it. I mainly bought it for the various toys that they were using in this game. This is Toy Soldiers War Chest edition, and it's the complete game. I think you can buy like a starter pack or whatever on Xbox Live, so you can get like a cheaper version of the game, but then you wouldn't get like all these cool characters here. So let's see here. We have the Assassin's Creed guy, Masters of the Universe. We have GI Joe. We have Cobra. Uh, just it was cool just to see all these toys that we grew up with, to see them into a game like that. Just that alone was worth the 20 or so bucks I paid for this game. And basically, what it is almost like a tower defense sort of game. This is not the first one. They've released multiple ones on the 360 prior, so definitely check this out though. I thought it was pretty cool. But anyway, that's basically it for the Xbox collection. We have not as much as the PlayStation 4, but still a decent selection of games there. A good majority of them are actually exclusive, and so it just goes to show you how many you know how many reasons, I suppose you could say, that there is to own an Xbox One. There's quite a few good and great games on the Xbox One to be worthy of a purchase of the console. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, this is Leburn98. Take care, guys. See ya. Bye.